As soon as it's gone live, I'll tag you as well. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. So, this is lovely Luke Scott, who I've been working with for a little while. I'm just going to bob in the comments and tag. But we're going to start today with a little connecting meditation. And I'm already getting into the energy because my brain is not functioning. How do you spell Luke?
Yeah.
Cracking start. Okay, so let's go. So welcome, and you can join in with us, whether you're watching live or on replay. Just join live with us. So for me, I place my feet firmly on the ground. And I either have my hands on my heart space or perhaps one on my heart space or my belly. Do whatever feels right for you. Take a nice deep breath in all the way down to the soles of your feet. And slowly just let it all go, softening your forehead, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. And just breathe comfortably. Thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, family stars and starlight beings. Thank you, family trees, birds, animals, insects, and all water life. Thank you for supporting us, protecting us, nourishing, nurturing, and healing us. Thank you for all you give, all you provide, all you share, and all you receive, heal, and transform. I'm so glad we're here together as one. And then whenever you're ready, if you've had your eyes closed, you can open your eyes and come back into this space. Oh, so welcome, Luke. Welcome. Hello.
Oh, my pleasure. I really like that last line, and that we're so glad to be here as one. I think that's really,
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think probably one of my first connection experiences many years ago was just learning and reconnecting with myself through nature. So, but this is about you today. This isn't about me. This is about you. So, Luke, we have not known each other that long. I joined a speaking course with you last year, and I just completed, literally like 15 hours ago, a healing course with you, which is your foundation program. You're the founder of the Q-RIT program. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about that and your story?
yeah, it'd be my absolute pleasure. And what happened to me that changed everything was just what you said in that last line in 2016. I got this connection. I call it unity consciousness. It's like a big life-changing breakthrough I had in a meditation. And I was totally sober, and I was by the pool in Vietnam. I'd just done a public speaking gig, and then this boom, this energy came in, and I was shaking and I was crying, and it showed me literally that we're all one, and that when we are in our power, we have access to all these gifts and abilities that most people think only exist in superhero movies, but it's not. This is real life. This is most of these things are real that you see on the TV.
Mhm.
And it became so incredible because I realized in one of the visions I was shown that I could shift other people too. I could help bring other people to this realization. And it's about getting people into their power. It's about getting people into their joy. It's about helping them remember who they are. And like I'm so thankful that my teachers helped me to do that. And we give back. This is the ripples that we create.
Yeah. So what
Okay.
would you say to people who, and I get this a lot in my community, and I
Mm.
did it with myself in the beginning, who are doubting their visions or saying things to themselves like, oh, I'm just making it up. It's just in my imagination.
Well, it's totally normal because we're raised in a society that has taught you to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Most of us, we're sat in a classroom and we're daydreaming, we're in our imagination space, we're in our super consciousness, and we get told, get your head out of the clouds. Come on, you need to be here, you need to think about what job to get, right? And wow, okay, I'll stop. I'll become less cosmic and I'll be more serious, right? And this is how we've been conditioned. So firstly, it's not your fault if you were raised in a tribe with shaman who were all multidimensional, they would go, "Wow, okay, so you can talk to trees. Cool. Why, what are the trees saying? Come and run a talking circle and you can share the messages of the trees." And this, it's
Right. And
literally,
it would just be absolutely everyday, acceptable, normal magic.
yeah. And there's a book called The Messages of the Water, right? Where people just literally like tune into water. And this is the one of the best books ever written. It's called the Tao Te Ching, and it's 2,500 something years old, and it's all about nature and water and what we can learn from nature, essentially, if we ponder on it long enough. And if we remember that we are nature, that's one of the fun one, Jen. I love reminding people that they are an animal, that you are nature.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm not an animal, I'm a human. I'm like, yeah, you're an animal. Like, you are a
Hmm.
part of nature, and we're
Yeah.
disconnected from it.
Yeah.
I like looking at what other parts of nature do. And one of the things that has happened over and over in my life is once I learn something, other people seem to come and ask me to teach it to them. It's
Mm.
always been that way. And so when I learned public speaking, other people were like, "How are you such a confident public speaker? Like, can you come and teach me?" So I started a public speaker training company and I started running courses because I thought it was so great. And then that started my journey into healing because most people I met were scared of public speaking. And I learned some techniques, hypnotherapy, energy healing, this quantum healing, curate, and we could shift people's fear really quickly. And then I realized, well, we can also use that if you have anxiety, because it's in the same kind of ballpark. So I started helping people shift anxiety. And then I
Mm.
realized, well, you can do this with depression too, right? So whatever the thing is that's going on, you can just actually change it instead of
Yeah.
taking a pill. And
Yeah.
then it sent me on this whole spiral of looking at what other people do who've actually healed from things that are uncurable. And I'm so thankful figured out you can pretty much cure anything. And this is the most important thing is you have to believe that you can.
Yeah.
And most people doubt that they can. And if you don't think you can heal, like the chances are that's what you're reinforcing to every cell of your body. And if you
Yeah.
do think you can heal, if you do think you're a powerful being, you reinforce that to every cell in your body. And this is like one of the big shifts. So with my children, I tell them every day, pretty much, you're powerful, you're beautiful, you're amazing, all of these great things. And we'll see how it turns out, but it's working pretty well so far.
Good. Yeah. And and we don't have like a control set of people to measure against, do we, to see if it's working. But I love what you say about this healing because as I've shared with you before, I went on a cancer healing journey last year. And I want to address anyone that's watching this, that, and maybe because people get triggered by it, right? Because we're conditioned, particularly in the Western world, that cancer is the scariest thing, the scariest disease. And yes, it is. It did definitely press some fear buttons, definitely. And I think what I learned the most on that journey was that whatever you believe is perfect and right for you. So, and I also believe in that dollop of magic from the universe. So I'm sitting here completely cancer free and healthy and well and whole.
Wonderful.
And I was very, thank you, I was very fortunate, I think. And I worked on the fears, I walked towards the fears. But in the spiritual community, what I'm very aware of is this, what we're talking about here, this belief. If you believe you can heal yourself, you can. And I 100% believe that. But I also believe in the concept of this and that. And I didn't need any further treatment. I had a surgery to remove a malignant tumor, but I didn't need any further treatment. Now, I believe I healed my body, my heart, my soul, my mind through nutrition and practices, my spiritual practices, and working with frequencies and healing. And I had a curate session actually with one of your practitioners. Um, but I would have given myself permission to utilize Western medicine if I'd have needed it, I think.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, I do the same. I had a knee injury and I went to the hospital, right? I don't go to my local Reiki practitioner if I've just blown my knee out, right? I go to get an MRI and I see what's going on there.
Yeah.
And the MRI was really useful, you know, it showed me exactly what was wrong with the knee. And then this person came who's a surgeon and they told me you have to have surgery. It's impossible for it to heal. It's called a bucket handle meniscal tear. It's
Yeah.
impossible for it to heal. If you don't get this surgery, you're going to get arthritis in the next 10 years. You won't be able to walk at all. It's going to be, your whole life will be a mess, you know. And I was just sat there, just listening. And I say this thing in my head when I don't like what people tell me. I say, cancel, clear, delete. And I was just
Yeah.
going, cancel, clear, delete. I know I can heal this. And so I set off on a path. I found a holistic knee specialist who, you know, helped me. And I did about 20 different quantum healing sessions. And now my knee is great, you know, and I go on trampolines and I bounce on everything and I never had surgery. And there's so many other people who've done this as well. But here's a little subtle shift, Jen, because believing is great. But I didn't say I believed I could heal my knee. I said I know.
Yes. You
And
decided.
that's the difference
Yeah.
because one of the traps actually with a lot of religious teachings, because there's mistranslations in religious teachings.
Yeah.
You know, the people who we follow, they didn't speak English, so when you translate something to English, it changes. Like the word believe inherently has doubt in it.
Mm.
And actually, mastery is when you know something. So when you woke up today, you didn't believe you could talk. You knew you could talk. You had a knowingness. You didn't hope, oh, I wonder if my legs will work today. No, you knew it, right? There was no doubt there. And that knowingness is where we can get to, especially if we become quantum healers or if you come and learn curate. We get you to a place of knowingness where you know you're powerful. And from there, everything opens up for you. And it's a little journey. You go from hoping first. Hoping's like a nice place, and then you work up to believing. If you see enough people around you doing it, oh, maybe I can do this too. And then you get to a place where you know you can, and that's what I did with public speaking too.
Yeah.
So you start
It,
off really
we,
nervous, but now you know you can do a podcast. You know you can do an interview. You know it's fine. Like you're not going to die. It's going to be all right.
yeah. See, my soul team say this to me. Like, this is the guidance I get. I mean, you didn't die, darling, so move on. You know? Oh, okay. Well, if that's the measurement, let's go. And it removes that fear. And I love how you highlight, what gets lost in translation. Um, because as we move into this fabulous transitional time that we're in with Gaia and humanity, that knowing is wisdom. That it's not knowledge is what I perceive, at least. It's a feeling, it's a sensation, it's a vision, it's a knowing, that I don't know how I know, but I just know. And therefore the trust in that.
Yeah. And one of the things that has happened in our world is like our knowledge has been hijacked. Right, where you have to really go and like search for people who've healed their broken spine. Like it's not that hard, but you have to go and actually type it in. It's not on the news. You don't see it on billboards. You don't see people in wheelchairs getting up and walking, and they say, "Oh yeah, it's because of this quantum healing," right? But they are out there, right? And your story, right? Why is that not on every cancer billboard instead of all of this fear stuff? One of my family members on my wife's side, they're a medical doctor, and I had to go to their practice the other day to take them something. And there's a big poster on the wall, and it says, 1 in 2 black men will get cancer. That's like on the wall of the doctor. No doubt in there. There is zero doubt, right? It is a firm statement. See, I hope you're all saying cancel, clear, delete, right? Because you don't want that. But that's
Right.
you walk up the stairs to the doctor's surgery and you see that, and you go, whoa, well, if I'm a black guy and like, am I one of the two, or is it me, or is it my uncle, right? And like this fear then is in you. It's like a worm, right? It's like in your brain, this little fear worm.
Yeah,
You have to
it's
come and
exactly it. Yeah.
take all of those out because you've been hijacked since you were a kid, and
Yeah.
not positively most of the time, unless you had amazing parents. Or maybe you went to an incredible school. Maybe you live in a country that teaches holistic healing, but I think that's the minority at the moment. But that's what we're here to change, Jen.
100%. And there's what I love about this work is that there are hundreds and thousands and millions of us doing it.
4 million Reiki practitioners, just Reiki, 4 million.
Just Reiki. I mean, it's huge, right? Around the world.
Must be a million hypnotherapists. Like, there's so many of us, right? All doing this good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it is, I know it's a mission that we share to speak about it, to put energy to it, to, fuel that ripple effect. And, I'm repeatedly shown, highly visual and see a lot in my meditation. So I'm repeatedly shown this transformation of an empowered, an equal, an abundant, peaceful world. I worked with Goddess Isis, and she said to me last year, welcome to your era of peace. And I knew she wasn't talking to me. I knew she was talking through me, you know.
Mm. Yeah.
And if that was on billboards everywhere, if that was welcome to your era of peace, I mean,
Turn on instead of saying there's this earthquake, there's this fire, it says, oh,
right,
this person just healed themselves. Oh, that person had Parkinson's and now they're completely healed. Oh, look, here's 100 people who've just healed cancer, right? And that was on the news every day, like how different the world would be. And that's what we are doing now with social media. And I'm so like thankful that you were brave enough to come and do a public speaker training course, right? Because now you've got your own podcast and now thousands of people might watch it or millions, who knows? You might get one video that goes viral. I had a video that got like 6 million views, like one video can help millions of people. And this
yes.
is basically a news channel. You've got your own TV show, right? It's such a cool time.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that particularly for women, and I know that is quite a general sweeping statement, but where so many of us through centuries, millennia, have experienced oppression and suppression and a fear, a deep, DNA, bone deep fear of persecution, that we're now able to just click a button, go live, and share with, millions, billions, trillions of people how awesome they are and how powerful they are, and that most of what they have been shown and heard and taught is an illusion
Mm.
and untrue and disempowering. And I think, and it's exactly where you and I were in very different worlds many years ago, believing that to be true. I didn't believe, I very much believed I was too small to make a difference.
Mm. I was always a bit different, actually. I always looked up to people like Richard Branson and Alan Sugar, and I thought,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be like those guys. I'm going to be a billionaire.
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
have these huge companies that change the world. I knew that since I was a kid. And
Right. And
I,
right there is the reason, maybe.
mm,
Who were the women? Who were the women that we could look up to? Who were the women talking about soul, wisdom, spirituality, leadership? We had Margaret Thatcher. I mean,
Yes, well, there were many great female role models, but I was born in the
absolutely.
1980s, right? And women's rights in the 1980s was so different.
Mm,
And it's not that long ago, right, where women had significantly less rights in the West than men. I'm very thankful. I've got three daughters, right, and my wife's
mm.
my best friend. And I'm very thankful now that we've got a more level playing field in many ways. We've still got some work to do, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
always, right? Always.
yeah, but one of the cool things, Jen, as well, like about now, is you can start a channel about anything. There's a famous guy called Kyle Gray. He talks about angels, right? And people love him. Like
I
50 years,
trained with him. I know him well. Yeah.
50 years ago, it would have been sectioned, right?
Right. Yeah.
You couldn't stand in the middle of the town square and say, "Hey, everyone, come to my course. I'll teach you how to talk to angels," right? You would have been lynched or something, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
interesting. Um, I was sent to a psychiatric institution when I was a kid, when I was 10 years old. And it was a really challenging thing. It was like 6 weeks to assess me because they wanted to know what was wrong with me. It turns out there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just very gifted. And the transition since I was a kid then, where gifted people, multidimensional psychic people, people with these gifts and abilities,
Yeah.
it was seen as a condition. Well, now it's celebrated, and you can build a business around it. And people will come and give you money to do a psychic reading for them. And people will come give you money to teach them how to be a healer.
Yeah.
And I'm so again to see the progress in the world now. Because you just mentioned, oh, I channel Goddess Isis, a message from Isis. You would have had you would have been sent to a psychiatric institution 50 years ago. You would have been, someone would have given you a lobotomy,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And that does still happen in other countries, by the way. So my wife is from Pakistan, and we watched a documentary recently about women's rights in Pakistan. And not in all places, but in some, if your wife displeases you, you can basically send her to a psychiatric institution,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just pay them, and they tell them that they're crazy, and they keep her in there for the rest of her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That does still happen in the world. So when I say that there's more work to do,
Yeah.
we I live in England, and it's
Yeah.
we can kind of right
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of people in the world who are still in this big imbalance.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm reminded of women in this country. Thankfully, it doesn't happen anymore. But in this country, the husband, if they were married, the husband had the legal right to put them into an asylum pretty much for anything. So particularly menopausal women were put in asylums.
Yes.
You know. So therefore, this really reinforces the power of the ripple effect for me and the knowing of that.
And for us to capitalize on this, Jen, right? Because you, in just your lifetime, especially with technology now, you can inspire thousands or millions of people. Like that, that's not really been possible before. It used to be so
Mm,
expensive to put a TV advert. It was hundreds of thousands of pounds, millions if you wanted to do them regularly. And
yeah,
now we all have our own TV channel. We can start our own podcasts and run our own events, and it's so beautiful. So I do feel. Not like I have to save the world because I did go through that. I thought I would save the world, but that was exhausting, so I dropped that one. But I do feel it's like positive internal pressure that I want to make the world a better place.
yeah,
And I know I've been gifted skills and abilities and confidence and this inner drive to help all of these people. And it
right.
used to be a dream for me that millions of people would see my content. I was in a workshop. It was a feng shui workshop with a lady called Marie Diamond, and we
Okay,
to like think about something in the future we would love. And my thing was, I would love to have millions of people see my content, and now that's my reality. Uh,
right.
And this is what's possible for any of you who are watching. And maybe you'll inspire people how to do better nutrition, or maybe you'll be a conscious parenting coach, or Maybe you'll just teach people how to be kind, right? That's very needed.
Yeah.
And if you just start sharing, magic happens because you start to attract cool people as well and open loads of opportunities.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? This limitlessness of potential and opportunity, because we're not boundaried, we're not hindered, we're not in cages like we still treat animals, you know. And so when we recognize that in ourselves, anything is possible. Anything is possible. But first we have to empower ourselves, you know, and anyone doing this work will have been on some kind of journey. And I really want to highlight that piece you made about saving the world, because I think in my perception, in my experience, I had it, you've just said you had it, that when we wake up and we experience these visions and these inspirations and divine guidance, it's like, oh my God, I know how to save the world. I know how to save the world. And because we are deeply empathetic and caring, we take that mission on. We take that mission on and we're, well, right, I'm going to change the world. But of course, we're doing it at that stage, from the old paradigm that teaches us we're alone. We have to do it by ourselves. And that's where the exhaustion, I burnt myself out for the second time as a result. The exhaustion comes from it, this kind of hero complex that the world even needs saving. We were talking earlier about actually the world is thriving and healing herself and doing really well in many, many areas. So yeah, what's your kind of views on, or guidance or thoughts and advice or energy that you can share with people who have this kind of pressure that they put on themselves to save the world?
We just created a new course called Heal Yourself, right? And you were a part of it.
Amazing.
Because most of my courses are aimed at people who want to become healers or who are already practitioners or therapists or and that was great, but now I've got this course which is for everybody to heal anything physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. We had a couple of people yesterday saying that since doing the course now their finances have opened up, and I'm like, yes, this is so great. So let's just say that that's medicine, right? And you have your own medicine, and but that's a medicine I've created. I can't force people to take that medicine. It is so painful to if you've ever tried to give a child medicine when they don't want it, right? They kick and they scream and they fight. Well,
Or a
now go
cat.
I'll go and do that to an adult, right? They won't take it. They'll double down on I am not taking your medicine, right? And you've literally healed cancer. So you can say to people, hey, anyone who's got cancer, like, come just try this medicine. And they'll go, oh, no way, I'm not trying that, right? My doctor says that you're crazy. And so you can have the best message in the world, the best medicine, the best music. I know some incredible musicians. You can't force someone to listen to your music. It's like, so this
Yeah.
is the realization I had after trying so hard to force people to listen. Like I used to literally get a megaphone and walk through the streets of London. And I've got videos on my YouTube channel. You can just type in Luke Scott
Amazing.
protests. You'll see all my videos of me literally marching.
Wow. Amazing. Good for
And
you.
it was so ineffective, Jen. It's like people are just there to do their shopping. They're just there and you're like shouting at them. It's like maybe you'll positively impact 1% of people, but you're negatively impacting 99%.
Right. Right.
Uh, one of my favorite analogies is if you've ever been woken up from your sleep when you didn't want to, it's time to go to school, like get up, right? And then throw water on you or something, and you wake up in a horrible mood. And this is what it's like. We're trying to wake people up who don't want to wake up yet. Like
Yeah.
they're very happily in their bed, like chilling out, relaxing. Like just stop trying to impose your stuff on other people. And it's a balancing act because I do absolutely want to end all the wars, and I do want to help all the animals, and I do want to help all the orphans, and I want to end homelessness, and I want to get everybody thriving and into abundance.
Mm.
But even if you go to a homeless person and you give them £5,000, like,
Mm.
is that really going to solve all of their problems? Might be a step up, but there's so much other stuff to do there.
Yeah.
So having a theory of how to save the world is one thing, but when you actually go and start trying to do it,
Yeah.
I was just butting heads all the time. So what I realize instead now is attract the people who actually want the medicine, tell people about it. Hey, this exists, like come, but stop forcing it on people. And that
Yeah.
has brought me way more peace.
Yeah. Yes. Peace. Yes. Yes. Funnily enough, you mentioned Kyle Gray earlier, and I was on a call with him a few weeks after I'd burnt out the second time, and I said like, why does this keep happening? And he, brilliantly, A, read my energy, and B, used all of his kind of skills and abilities and identified this uh, awareness and helped me to awaken to the awareness of what you're talking about here, that it's not about saving the world, it's about saving your world first. And we're back to that ripple effect. So I spent 2 years really going very deep within, very deep, looking at all those scary parts. I thought I'd done shadow work before, but well, I had not done shadow work before to that level. And recognizing that what I needed to do was accept, surrender, and trust and allow. And in so doing, that ripple effect, that's what I focused in on. I was like, if I create my own inner peace, if I stop warring with myself, if I stop fighting with myself, and I choose to love and accept myself and to embody the work of Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, um, Anita Morjani, some amazing teachers out there. And as my world became more peaceful, I noticed the ripple effect on my immediate world become more peaceful. And then I realized that I had that awareness. What happens beyond that is not my responsibility or my business. That's up to the universe. I surrender that and trust and know in the power of that. All I have to do is work on me and my immediate world. And I think that's what you were talking about there. Like when our job isn't to convince, right?
Yeah, it's a very deep subject. I do literally do 5 day retreats where we talk nonstop about all of this stuff, and there's many layers to it. So if anything I'm saying comes across as too bold or it doesn't have the right nuance, please just have some kindness, because what I believe ultimately is we live in such a deeply flawed society, right? That when you say you burned out, like what that means to me is you were giving more than you were receiving in whatever way, because the system we have wasn't giving to you what you needed. And so many healers I see are like working in Asda, pushing trolleys or cleaning toilets because they don't have a society, they don't have a system, they don't have a community. They don't, if they don't go and work on a checkout, they can't put food on their table. It's
Right.
like so fundamentally broken, and we get
Yeah.
stressed because, yes, I want to help people. Yeah, I want to do public speaking, but I have to also make money doing public speaking. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
then I have to go learn sales and marketing, right? Well, I just want to help people, but now I have to be a marketer, right? And this is what is like so stressful because, again, if we had business funding, if there was more funding and say, okay, you have a project to help the world, here's 100 grand, Jen. You wouldn't have gotten burnt out. You would have gone and got a team. You would have got some people to help you. You would have done this. You would have had support. And they go, Jen, I love what you're doing. Here's 100 grand every year. You just go and do what you're doing. You go clean up the oceans. You go save the rainforest. You do whatever you want to do. Right? Here's unlimited financial support and abundance. And we just don't have that. But also, we don't have the emotional support. Most
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs, most solopreneurs, they're so lonely because we
Yeah.
don't have a good tribe of people around us. And this
Yeah.
is my lived experience, like
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah,
Like,
ditto.
where are the other people who care as much as me? I'm literally got a megaphone in the streets. Like, who cares?
Yeah, where are you?
Anybody care? Like, please come see me if you give a shit about what's going on. And this is what it's amazing because I do feel very much like that. And so I make communities. I have one called the Visionaries. We run these conferences and we do these things called the Peace on Earth Conference once a year. And I've got some other friends who are like on a world peace mission, and we build communities. We're building one in Mexico right now. We're out in Thailand looking at building one there, and I'm doing so much to make this support system for myself, firstly, but also
Yeah,
for my children and for the people who also come and say, yes, I care. And
yeah,
at the moment, that's the people who are in my courses, in my programs, in our tribe, because they are saying, look, I'm aligned with you. I care what you're doing. And we
yeah,
all help each other. So you
yeah,
have this podcast, so you could help people get their message out, right? And
yeah.
you get me to say things I've never said before, and it's like such a beautiful gift. And it doesn't have to be financial support all the time. It
Right.
can be go and promote your friend's business. Go and get your friend a few clients.
Yeah,
Uh, Go and help them. Go hand out flyers on the local street corner. That's what we used to do, right? I
yeah.
think if
Back in the day. Yeah.
one of my first businesses, it was literally flyering, putting them through people's door
Yeah.
letterboxes. And if we had more support, if friends supported each other more, if people were not in survival mode, I
Mm,
think everything would be so different. And so
mm,
one of my loving requests and invitations to everybody is make a plan to get yourself out of survival mode. Whatever that is, if you've got some skill gaps, knowledge gaps, fill them in. Find a mentor, find a guide, find a friend.
mm.
Go hang out with some people who've already figured that out and go learn from them. It's never been easier to do that.
Right. And free.
It's still not easy, but it's never been easier, right? You can go and learn from millionaires and on YouTube, right? You
Yeah.
billionaires even, right? And it's a really interesting time, and I think we're going to see this now. Self-development, personal development. It's getting people, Jen, because it's on reels now. You only have to watch a 60-second reel and you get your consciousness upgraded. You see on
Right.
meme. Someone just sends you a meme and you see the world in a different way. Oh, I've had a
Yeah.
paradigm shift. Oh, I never thought about that before. So it's
Yeah.
so cool how we're shifting people these
Yeah.
more subtle ways. But then as we go from 4 million energy healers to 10 million energy healers in the next few years, and then 100 million energy healers, and everyone's doing sessions on each other, healing each other's traumas, helping each other with their business plans. It's
Mhm.
gonna be all fantastic. And I lived in London for 5 years, and there's a little joke there that pretty much everyone in London is a coach of something. It seems like everyone's a coach, because we're in a little circle, you're in a bubble, right? And
Yeah.
everyone's coaching. And they're going, do you not think there's too many coaches in London? And I'm like, there are literally 10 million people living in London, and there are 10,000 coaches. Like,
Right.
just because I'm at the party where all the coaches are, like, there is so much scope for you to be a coach, a leader, a guide, a healer, or something.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool time.
Yeah, it is. And I think when we focus on the celebration of that and the awesomeness of that, it becomes a much easier world to live in. Yeah. Oh, Luke, we could talk all day, couldn't
Yeah, that's what I do. That's
we?
that's the
Yeah.
life I've
And
created for myself. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, amazing. Yes, and I'm starting to do the same, having created my life of traveling around the country looking after animals, because I love traveling and animals. And yeah, next on the agenda, talking, because I really like to do that.
Yeah, one of my friends, and he's just running his first retreat. He just sent me it yesterday. He's running his own retreat, and I'm like, oh, so I love running retreats. It's such a joy. Filling retreats, doing the marketing for retreats, learning how to do the branding for retreats. That's a whole journey if you don't know. But actually, like facilitating the retreat, wonderful,
Yeah,
joyful. All
yeah.
the organizing of the retreat, not my joy zone. That's why you need an event organizer.
Not my joy zone.
You need
Right.
an event organizer for that, and you need marketers to fill it, and then I just come and speak. This is my joy zone. And when people learn what their joy zone is, what their strengths are, and what their competencies are, think it's a game changer as well because
Yeah.
I love thinking about living in tribes and communities. If we have 100 people who all live together in a tribe or a community, some people will be the best at growing food. They go and grow the food. Some people will be the best at building houses. They go and build the houses. We might be
Mm.
the teachers or the healers, or we might be who knows, right? And the people who are good at music will do the music, and the people who are good at music won't go and build the houses because that's not their superpower, right? And they might be okay at it, but they're not going to be as in their flow as if they are when they're making doing the best concerts for us all.
Yeah.
And again, I think we're a little lost because most people in our society are doing things they don't want to do for the majority of their life. They're in
Yeah.
a job they don't like. They get
Yeah.
home exhausted. They're
Yeah.
not. They're not who they want to be for their children or in their community. And because we're under so much stress and pressure, most people,
Mm.
that has health impacts as well.
Yeah.
But if we had this positive news channel, Jen, do you know right now in the world, in America, it's around 9% of the American population are millionaires. So 1 in 10 people. And in England, it's 5%. So it's 1 in 20 people in England are millionaires.
Right.
So
Wow.
there are a lot of very wealthy people. There is enough abundance. There are enough resources around, right? But 90% of the people are struggling while 10% of the people are thriving. And this is the brokenness of the system.
Mm.
That is great if you like to play Monopoly and you want to win. I want to have the most money. I want to have the most. Well, okay, well let's all stop competing with each other and let's actually play a nicer game. Would be my invitation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a very strong invitation, and a magnetic one. Billie Eilish, actually, on that point, I don't know if you saw the news, she stood up at an award ceremony, and rather than doing the standard acceptance speech, she spoke to the billionaires in that room and essentially invited them to do things differently with their money. And I love that. I love that. A woman from very humble backgrounds to stand on a stage without fear
Or
and speak her truth.
stand on stage with fear. It's totally fine. Like if
Yeah,
you,
agree. Yeah,
there's a quote, it
I do.
says, "Speak your truth even if your voice shakes." I
Yeah.
love because sometimes it's scary to say the truth, especially if it's coming up to the holiday period and maybe you have different views to your family and you're going to sit around the dinner table with your family for 3 days and how with them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, actually like tell them who you are? Are you going to share how you actually feel? Or will you just play small and no
Mm.
one actually then, but you don't build true love in those situations because
Especially for yourself.
people don't even know who you are. How can they love you if they don't know who you are? And this is a big awareness I had is, yeah, not everybody's my person. Not everybody likes
Mm.
my medicine, but some people love it. Some people come
Yeah,
to all my events and all my trainings, and some people want to have me on their podcasts. And like, great, like let's find those people, right?
right.
And
Yeah,
people
exactly.
like, oh, freedom? No, thank you. Go away. What's this guy talking about love and unity? Ugh, peace? No way. I'm an arms manufacturer. I make good money off war. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just continue to feel financially trapped on this hamster wheel I've built for myself and keep running. Which I know is what it's certainly where I used to be. I spent 20 years in corporate, very much feeling trapped in that financial space. So, you know, if it's possible for me, it's possible for anybody. It
Mm.
is possible. And yeah, a shameless plug. Actually, I did write a book about my journey from leaving corporate to communicating with nature and animals, and
Wonderful.
share the messages and the profound wisdom, literally called nature's wisdom. So yeah, it's totally possible. And you and I are, because you used to have a corporate career in sales, didn't you? You know, there are millions of us breaking free of financial traps.
Yeah, I used to work in a big building. It had like 2,000 people, and I see like little bees in beehive, and everyone's just buzzing away, doing their thing, over caffeinated, eating terrible food, and then you go home and you have a few hours of freedom, right? But it's a really weird system. So shaking all of that up, and it's a cool time. I was just thinking when you you were talking then, in the UK they had this it's called a submarine system. It's called Trident or something. They spent 30 billion pounds on building these super nuclear war submarine things, right? Their estimate is that it would cost around $20 billion to end homelessness forever. Gone, eradicated. So
Yeah.
for the same amount that they spent on these submarines, they could have ended homelessness forever, gone.
Right.
And it's not like a big difference we need to do. It's just a shift away from what we value and how we use our resources and how we all collectively decide what's important.
Yes.
And it's happening so fast, thanks to social media,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
Like I can tune into any person I want who is giving me the news that I want to hear.
Mm.
Right. And it's still, I don't watch mainstream news anymore because it was just giving me stuff I didn't want to hear.
Right. Right. And yeah, like reaffirming the programming.
Yeah. It's just a lot of people are worried and anxious at the moment
Mm.
about things that are completely out of their control.
Mm. Yeah.
And if you ever meditate, like really deeply meditate, and this is what Gautama Buddha did, who's the main Buddha that a lot of people know, like really meditate on your own body. I went on this 10-day meditation retreat, and you like really like meditate on how does your body work? Right? And
Mm.
you have cells in your heart, right? And they have their job to do, to be a heart. And you have cells in your kidneys, and they have their job to do, to be a kidney. And if your kidney cells start trying to do the heart cell's job, your whole body's going to go into disarray.
Yeah.
And this is what we're doing because we can see, I can turn on the TV right now, I can see all the issues happening in Africa, all the issues happening in Asia, all the issues happening in the UK, right? And I can get so overwhelmed worrying about things that aren't my job. Like I'm a cell, and we're all cells. We're all like parts of this earth, and we have something to do that is our actual thing. And it's very confusing having access to so much information when most of it is not actually relevant to why you're here. So
Right.
learning to let go of that and then
Mm.
remembering who you are, why you're here, what is truly important to you
Mm.
is one of the biggest gifts I can recommend. And it took me about 6 months learning meditation to do it.
Mm.
That's also one of the reasons why I launched Curate, because then in 2 days, I do a 2-day program. I get people to the same place that it took me 6 months to get to, but we do it in 2 days.
Amazing. Amazing. And honestly, anyone watching this, I've experienced Curate from practitioners trained by Luke and also Luke himself. And it has helped me exponentially. And I still feel the expansion of it. So I've been working just in the last 3 weeks on a pain in my foot, which has now gone. First morning this morning, I got out of bed and I'd taken a good few steps before I've even thought about my foot. Whereas for the last more or less year, we won't go into that. And and certainly when I was healing from the cancer, the curate session I had helped me to shift things so quickly without me having to consciously control it. So I would thoroughly recommend anyone joining the program. And I'm taking full advantage of this for sure, because I know you've got an offer as well that the first 44 people that sign up to the training and the program I just did get a 30-minute one-to-one with you, don't they?
Yeah, I get told to do things. I just follow the guidance. Life works easier if you do that. You just don't, it goes, give 44 people a free session. I'm like, okay. So I actually have a free session I offer to everybody, which is a recorded session. So if
Mhm.
anybody's interested, I can pop the details below or send me a message. It's a 2-hour session. I explain how the whole thing works, and then I take you through the process. Everyone can do it. And then we have all different kinds of courses if you want to go deeper as well. But I'd say definitely do the free session if you have a physical pain, if you have some kind of mental health challenges, if you have emotional issues or blockages, financial challenges, if you feel like you're lost or stuck, like you can use it for so many things. You just plug in whatever your thing is. If you have relationship issues around your family and you want to do some family healing, I highly recommend that coming up to the holiday time.
Mm,
And you've got a good amount of weeks here. You know, you could be a different person when you show up for the holidays. People,
yeah.
you're like a butterfly, you know, you turn, what have you been doing? You go, well, I just locked in. I locked in for 4 weeks, 6 weeks. I went deep, did the shadow work like you talk about. I got real with myself. But that's
Mm,
what most people are scared of, Jen. They're scared to go under the hood and have a look at what's going on because they don't have the tools to fix it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And like you said earlier, about it's about having that emotional support and that human support as well as, that soul level support. So yeah, find your tribe, find your community, find your membership. It's been, holding my own has been life changing. Belonging to one has been life changing. And I love being a part of the Curate community as well. So yes, please do share links in the comments below. And if you ping them over to me, I'll send it out in my newsletter as well this week.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wisdom, your energy, and your time for being here. Thank you.
It's my absolute pleasure.